This is the story of the last stand of Rashid Minhas. Shaheed at 20. Pakistan Air Force Day is celebrated every year on March in the country of Pakistan. It commemorates the day in 1947 when the Pakistan Air Force was formed. But there is more to this day. On this day in 1965, a young pilot named Rashid Minhas gave the ultimate sacrifice for his country. His bravery continues to inspire the armed forces of Pakistan even today. He was just 20 years old. But before we begin, hello and namaste. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, WarChronicle. In today's video, we will be looking at one of the most courageous acts by a pilot in the history of aerial warfare. The year was 1965 and India and Pakistan were in the middle of a war. The war had been on for over a month, and both sides were inflicting heavy casualties on each other. But as the war dragged on, the Pakistani leadership realized that they were not prepared for a long war. They needed something to turn the tide of the war around, and they thought that this could only be done with the help of their Air Force. On February 7, 1965, the Indian Air Force had struck a Pakistani airbase near Lahore. In response, Pakistan decided to carry out a strike of their own. The target was the Indian airbase at Amritsar. The strike was planned for the night of March. The Pakistani pilots were given the mission order, and they began to prepare for the mission. Among them was a young pilot named Rashid Minhas. He was just 20 years old, and this was his first combat mission. Rashid had joined the Pakistan Air Force Academy as a cadet in 1962. After completing his training, he was posted to the 11th Fighter Squadron at PAF Base Lahore. There, he flew the F-86 Sabre, the same aircraft that he would fly on his combat mission. On the night of March 1965, Rashid and his wingman, squadron leader Cecil Chaudhry, fueled and armed their aircraft. They then climbed into the cockpits and started their engines. As they taxied to the runway, Rashid could feel his heart pounding in his chest. This was it. He was about to embark on his first combat mission. With the mission complete, both pilots turned their aircraft around and headed back to base. But they had barely taken off when their radio crackled to life. They had company. Two Indian MiG-21s had taken off from an Indian airbase and were on their way to intercept the Pakistani Sabres. A dogfight ensued. One of the Sabres was hit and it began to smoke. Realizing that they were outnumbered, Rashid and his wingman broke off from the fight and headed back to base. As they approached the runway, Rashid's aircraft began to shake violently. He knew that his aircraft was damaged and that if he didn't do something, he would crash. But he was too low on fuel to make it to the runway. With a heavy heart, Rashid knew that his time had come. He radioed his wingman, "I am going down," and then he bailed out of the aircraft. As his parachute deployed, Rashid looked up at the sky and saw a burning Sabre slowly losing altitude. He watched helplessly as his wingman put his life on the line to save him. Squadron leader Cecil Chaudhry made a risky maneuver and managed to push Rashid's aircraft away from the flames. But in doing so, he damaged his own aircraft, and it began to smoke. He managed to bail out just in the nick of time. Both Rashid and Cecil landed near a village. They were separated, and Cecil managed to make his way to a nearby farmhouse, where he was taken care of by some villagers. But Rashid was not so lucky. He landed in an open field and was soon spotted by some Indian soldiers. They took him to an abandoned building and locked him up. Rashid was just 20 years old when he gave his life for his country. He was a true hero who made the ultimate sacrifice. His bravery continues to inspire the armed forces of Pakistan even today. So that was the story of the last stand of Rashid Minhas Shaheed at 20. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you liked the video, then do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe so that you, my friend, don't miss any of my videos. This has been your host. And until next time, keep tracking.